Hello and good morning. Today we're going to work on multiplying fractions and whole numbers. The first question we're going to look at is this one. Miss Esquivel has 8 paper clips. If she gives 1/4 of the paper clips to Mrs. Benavides, how many paper clips does Mrs. Benavides have? So let's look at our question. So we know that Miss Esquivel has 8 paper clips. And then she gives 1/4 to Mrs. Benavides. So what the question is asking is that how many paper clips does Mrs. Benavides have? To solve this, what we are really looking at is 1/4 times 8 equals, and our equals is the amount of paper clips that Mrs. Benavides received. To do this, we're going to use a set model of counters, but today we'll be using actual paper clips to represent our counters, just so we can connect to real life scenarios. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 paper clips for our model. Ms. Esquivel gives 1/4 to Mrs. Benavides. So we need to split the paper clips up into 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. And would you look at that? We can split 2 counters together 4 times to make 4 groups. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 2 clips. Miss Esquivel gave 1/4 of the clips to Mrs. Benavides. So now we have to find out how many clips are in one group out of the 4 groups. So that means we're going to be taking one group and give it to Mrs. Benavides. Took one group and we're giving it to Mrs. Benavides. So that means Mrs. Benavides has 2 clips. So 1/4 times 8 equals 2. A misconception a student might have when solving a problem like this is that they may think that our whole is actually 4 paper clips instead of 8 because we have a fraction 1/4. And 4s, they usually think of it as the whole. So yeah, they might think the whole is 4 paper clips when we are trying to find 1/4 of the whole, which the whole is actually 8 paper clips in this case. Oops. Another way we can solve our problem, multiplying fractions and whole numbers, is using a linear model. And here is our next problem. Rafa rides his bike 8 miles on Friday. If Rafa rides 1/4 of what he rides on Friday, how much did Rafa ride? So we're going to use this grid to help make a line graph or linear model. We are going to count 8 squares to represent our 8 miles that Rafa rode on Friday. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then let's make our lines at the end. This is what it looks like so far. So starting at 0, we're going to write our numbers to represent 8 miles. So you have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If Rafa rode 1/4 of what he rode on Friday, how much did Rafa ride? And that is our question. So now, we're going to look for 1/4. We're going to look for 1/4 times 8 equals, and then the miles to give us the number of miles that Rafa rode. So here, we know what we need from our previous activity. Using 8 clips and multiplying it by 1/4 so that we can split 8 up into 4 groups of 2. So we know that we can split it up into 4 groups of 2. So we have the group here. We can split it right here, right here, right here, and right here. here are our four groups of 2. Here have the 4 groups of 2. Then remember, in this case, we're talking about miles. If we want to find out 1/4 of what he rode, we just need to find out 1 of the 4 miles of the groups. So this means that Rafa rode 2 miles, which means 1/4 times 8 equals 2 miles in this case. The part I just shaded in, that represents the number of miles he rode. Today I have presented 2 different ways of showing how we can multiply a fraction times a whole number using a linear model and using a step model, using counters or paper clips in today's lesson.